It's time for another edition of You Ought to Know with Steve Hurley from Stingray Chevrolet. And since we started this segment on the show, Steve has definitely shown that there are good dealers and bad dealers out there. But we'd like to think that they are all good and honest. But how do you know when you're really being taken for a ride? Welcome back, Steve.
What a topic, huh? Thank you.
Yeah,
Good to
I
see
love
you,
this
Cindy.
topic. Let's talk about red flags that we should be looking out for when we go into a dealer or we have dealings with the person on the floor.
You want to use your common sense. Absolutely. Red flag is a good term because you want to use your common sense. If something doesn't seem right, then it probably isn't right. And you want to make sure to ask the questions and get the answers that you're looking for.
I had an experience a few years back, about 15 years ago. My husband and I were on the lot looking at a vehicle, and the guy came out and he looked at us and he said, "I really don't think you guys are ready for this vehicle."
That's unbelievable. And
Really?
of course, all the red flags went up, I'm sure. I bet you didn't buy a vehicle there.
We sure did. We hightailed it right out of there. So just
I believe it.
unbelievable.
That's a good example, though, because if you're not treated as a guest in somebody's business, they should treat you with respect. It doesn't matter whether you're buying the most basic model they offer or the Corvette Z06 that's $100,000. They should treat you with courtesy and respect.
Well, what if a dealership takes your car because you said, I'm going to trade this in? So they take it to do whatever they have to do, but they're not bringing you back your keys quickly enough. Like,
Boy, that's my hot button. That drives me crazy. That's called basically holding you hostage by hanging onto your keys. And believe it or not, that still happens. That just turns my stomach because you should be in control. And if you're nervous about that or have had that happen before, make that very clear to the person you're dealing with that, okay, you can look at my vehicle, but I want to either look at it with you or as soon as you come back, I'd like you to bring my keys back.
what about if you're trying to get financing and they're trying to work the numbers, but they tell you at the same time, you know what? Why don't you just take the car now, and we'll work on this for you?
That's sort of a situational response. I've got a situational response because sometimes it's okay to drive a vehicle and see if it will work for you, if it's your idea, or if you're comfortable with it and you don't feel nervous. Now, if they're pressuring you, oh, take the car, take the car, take the car, don't get pressured into driving a vehicle that you don't want to buy. We call that the puppy dog close, to where you drive the vehicle, get attached to it like a puppy, and then you'll do everything you can, even pay more than you'd like to complete the sale.
Most people have heard the line, you know what, I just have to go talk to my sales manager. I really want to do this for you.
Right.
Sit right here. I'll be right back. We can crunch some numbers.
That's so common. That's why we call our salespeople sales managers, because they actually can work the numbers. However, there's something that we call in the business deal structure. And what deal structure is about is if you're putting X amount down, you're trading in your vehicle, you may have a payoff. There are a lot of numbers involved, and even an experienced sales professional will need to get with the finance director or the sales manager. That's different from the running back and forth. And if you feel like you're getting too much of the running back and forth to the guy hiding behind the dark glass, which is red flag.
Sometimes I think they've just left the room and then they just come back, 3 minutes later. They
went
haven't
over
actually
to chat,
spoken to
nothing
anyone.
ever actually happened, right? And that happens as well, unfortunately. They just kind of walk away and go through the motions. But those are red flags. And if you sense those red flags, either you can ask to speak to the manager directly, or you can always turn and leave.
And if you ask to speak to the manager and they say no,
you should
get
leave.
out of there.
Absolutely. You're in control.
Yeah.
Actually, in the old days, like I mentioned, it used to be that we tried to control. I say we because I was part of the business and have been, but that's not the right way to sell a car anymore.
No. So much competition.
There is.
Wow. Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For more, head to stingraychevrolet.com. We'll be right back.